Good evening. Well, different time of day. Usually you see me in the morning time. Got a haircut. Eating my dessert. It's Siggy's on Skyr, or their version of Greek yogurt. Some honey. And some crushed raspberry. And peanut butter powder. It's my form of dessert. And raisins. I eat a lot of raisins. I eat a lot of cheese. I'm off eating the shit food now again. I weighed 182 when I got home. I feel good. Gonna run tomorrow. I haven't ran in like 4 days or 5. Been getting forced at work. Today was another force. I triple cased. I did my route in a half of a route. Like I said before, for anybody who's new watching, I'm a route technician. I take care of 5 routes when the regulars aren't there, or if a route's vacant, I manage that route until someone, I guess, takes it. I did bid a route, but I found out someone else is going to bid it, which is good. Because thinking further, I don't want to take the route now. I'm just going to stay at the T6. But if I win the route, I can try it for 3 days, change my mind again. I don't know why I want to go to Lenox. I mean, it's like 7 miles away. That's just too much travel time. And often, I made the stupid mistake of putting my rice that is left over, kind of, from what I cook in the trash. And frickin' fruit flies. Frickin' stupid decision. Really dumb. Yeah. So then if I'd have to have a second load, I'd have to drive an extra 7 and then 7 back. That's an extra 14 miles a day. And then I'd have to be asking perhaps for time, for what they call a 39.96 for requesting overtime. Would they argue? But it's like that travel is excessive, and if you have to reload again, it's going to take time. You know what I mean? So thinking further of it, I don't think I'm going to take the route. I don't want to deal with that crap. But yeah, I got my stuff done. I triple cased and I got my route done by 3:45, which means I had 15 minutes of undertime still after triple casing. And the 2 routes that I cased and split are the 2 routes that take the longest for me to case. And the reason is those 2 routes have a lot of movement, really dense, and a lot of movement. So you have a lot of warning cards. Can't just case it up. Yeah, you have, I mean, some of the regulars are talking about, oh, there's too many warning cards. But like last week, some guy gave me back some mail, and he's like, oh, this is the only person me that lives here, and he handed me the mail. I'm okay, and then I finally got a list of forwards, and lo and behold, there was a forward. And I wasn't aware of it because I wasn't the regular on it. But so you have those situations where you could be delivering mail that should be forwarded, and so you have to have warning cards when people are moving in and out of a place like every other month. Um, they just get the place, and then like a couple of months later, they're not there anymore. So, but they ended up forcing, and they're talking about the board. This office has a board, and whoever calls out sick or routes to be split are up there. Then they put the person who's casing, and the people doing the route underneath. In California, they didn't have that. Too many people. There's like 120 routes. They didn't do it in that style, like where everybody could see it, and nobody could. There was never anybody that would be telling the supervisor how they should assign whatever they assign or how abouts they do it. I mean, this office is a little different. You have people that will ask for pieces or give suggestions, and they're always trying to get the board the way they like it, I guess. Obviously, you want work, so therefore you try to influence the supervisor to put you on the board. I'm not, I'm kind of guilty of it. Not in that way, exactly. I take some pride, as a T6, I don't step on any toes of the regulars that are on my string. If they're doing something I don't agree with, I don't care. I don't impose my philosophy on them, on how I would do things. I don't do that. Because I know that I would be pissed. Yeah, I'd be pissed if I had T6, managing my route for me. I'd be fucking pissed. I'd be mad. I wouldn't tolerate that. I'd freaking, yeah. So naturally, that's the reason why I wouldn't do it. Makes sense. Where the hell did I go off on a tangent on that? But it was related. My brain is so. What the hell? Oh, okay, yeah. I've been asking several of the supervisors hey, I want to work on Monday. It's my NS. The reason being, it's not my routes, but I take care of the routes. So, there's one route. I'm cool with the regular. I would consider him to be a friend, and we talk all the time. And his route's pretty cool and has a lot of businesses on it, and he's on vacation, and so therefore I see myself as the T6. I have a kind of thing in my brain that, wants to be doing that route on Monday because it's a heavy day. You know what I mean? And then there's another route on my string that's going to be down. And so therefore I'm well, hey, I could do a route and a half, double case both those routes, probably in 8 hours. That's my angle, what I try to smoothly somehow is I haven't quite found the smooth way. But different supervisors assign differently. If you're gonna just give me a piece, I'm screwed. You know what I mean? I need a lot of work in order to have time, obviously. So it's whew, when I saw the board this morning and I'm triple casing, I'm like happy because I know I have a good day at work. You know what I mean? Because obviously I triple cased and I have the root done and it's 3:45. So that half a root was a save. If I only double cased, I'd be screwed. I probably would maybe go home in 8 hours, 8.5. So obviously, for me to get overtime, I need to get assigned a lot of work. And so I'm definitely a fan of anybody that overloads me on the board. Because if you don't, I don't make money. So obviously, I'm not pressuring, not like, not so hard pressuring, I guess, to try to get my workload up on the board. You know what I mean? I mean, it has produced some friction. People see it as me stealing overtime, but can't really say that because they're forcing. And, no matter how you construct the board, if people aren't going to push hard, it doesn't matter. Pretty much that's just the truth. If you're not going to push to get it done, then you're always going to force. Really, I think the only true way to construct the board for overtime, obviously, I don't know the ins and outs of equity, other than it needs to be equity for the OTDL. So obviously, you have to meet that, or they have to pay out. That's kind of the gist of what I understand about it. But what I'm saying, if it's a business, it's a business. You try to get, the board, what you should be thinking about is not the time it takes to get the job done. To be honest with you, you're thinking about how much it costs to get the job done, not how fast you're going to get the job done. But at the same time, if you're forcing, then you're wasting money. So, obviously, you want to try to get the job done the cheapest way possible. There is a rule that if you force, all the OTDL have to stay 12 hours. Which kind of is good, actually, to be honest with you. Because then it forces them to think before they force. Because they don't want to spend all that money, right? So imagine if the OTDLs didn't have to stay to 12 hours, everybody would be getting forced every day. And no one would have overtime. You would just force everybody. I mean, basically, right? I mean, I don't know. There has to be a check and balance, and obviously the 12-hour OTDLs is a good form of check for that. I'm just thinking about it right now. Because otherwise they'd abuse the living shit out of the force feature. You know what I mean? It'd be bad. So, really, you just got to be cost effective. To be honest with you, the people doing the volume, who are the lower paid people who can do the volume, if you're a business person, should be getting the overtime. If you're not doing it that way, don't consider yourself a business person. You're not running it like a business if that's not the way you're doing it. Because the cost of labor is what it is. And you can't be, giving out free money like that and then thinking you're a businessman, because you're not. 'Cause I think We had one person said in the post office, no one's accountable to the dollar. It's no one's money. Kind of makes sense that, right? Why they don't think about the cost. How many people are doing a job? If you're going to send 5 people to help out a route who needs help, you've got to multiply or add up all those wages for the time that it took to get it done. And then you can find out how much money is spent to get the job done versus if the person fails. If the person fails, then he has to deliver it the next day, and he does, well then you have late mail, but you didn't spend 5 people's wages to get it done the day before. So, but we have to get it done today rather than roll some over for tomorrow. Well, then you're burning a lot of wages to get the job done. So, obviously, the post office doesn't really think of themselves as they think of themselves as a business, but they don't actually practice it. Because you're willing to send 5 people because you want to get the job done. I understand. There'll be repercussions if you don't get the mail done. But, I mean, at some level, more than one person doing a job is twice the labor to do the job. Twice the cost. So you want to be able to do the job as cheap as possible. I'm not really a great mathematician. If I was really good at math, I'd easily make an equation to show you guys and demonstrate like how much money, and then compare it to like several people and see the difference. I guess I was thinking about that. When you have one route, and I like the idea of 2 people, well, it's easy to split, but get a bigger piece. But the idea is like, well, you have 4 people do it. The idea then is you're going to get people back sooner. Okay. I guess. But then when I was doing the math, let me see my calculator on my laptop here. 6 hours street time. So 6 divided by 4, that's 1.5 hours each. Say they all make $25 an hour. So that's $100 an hour. Oh man, my brain. So that's $150 to do the job if you have 4 people. So now we have 2 people making $25, which is $50 an hour, times 3, because it's going to get done in 3 hours. Yeah, okay. It's the same. It's $150. But when I first thought about it, without just putting it down on the calculator, I thought that it'd be cheaper to have 2 people do it than 4. But actually, with that example, it's the same. So you're getting the same money. It's unintuitive when you think about 4 people's wages, but then you're thinking of the time. Okay, I get it. But then that's like everybody works at different speeds. Then you're gonna. That's when you lose the money. Is if everybody's not gonna do it in 1.5. So sometimes when toggling ideas in the head, you gotta write it down, I guess. But volume, can't argue with that. Can't argue with that. The lowest paid and the highest volume counts. But yeah, I don't know. Really, the forcing happens because people work at their own speed. I think I'm right on that. That you can't really get people to work outside of their natural speed. Everybody works at a speed that's natural for them. You might be able to get them to be fast through pressure and authority, especially if they're new. But I think they're always going to go back to their baseline that's natural for them, regardless. You could be the union guy trying to pressure someone to be slow, and it might work for a bit. But if their natural work speed's going to be faster, they're going to go right back to where they were. It's kind of like baseline. It's like hedonism. You're seeking pleasure and you're experiencing it, but then you're always going to go back to baseline, they say. And then you're going to be like, oh, and then try to seek pleasure again because you had it, but then you went back to baseline. But I don't want baseline. I want pleasure again, you know? So it's kind of like the same thing. So that's, some people just are speed type people, some people aren't. If you have someone that's really laid back, kind of works, but really is kind of not someone that likes to be rushed, good luck trying to get them to be fast. I mean, they're probably not ever going to be fast enough. Which, you know, they say there's no standard. But I think there should be. But a standard that's fair. People are like, oh, us carriers, we should be on a rural type. But then you know what they're going to do. They're going to give you 10 hours worth of work, and you're going to get paid for 8. There's no way they're going to give you 6 and pay you for 8. So, yeah, you might not like it. Oh yeah, you'll have 10 hours to do your work or whatever, even 12. But, you know, you'll see that they're going to give you a huge ass route. So you probably want to stay hourly. So, I don't know. I'm doing all right. I'm going to, I might not get a chance to try the route, and it's all good because the more I think on it, the more I'm not going to take it. It's a big route with a lot, like it has a lot of work. which that's one of the reasons. There'd be a lot to take care of on the route, and that's something that appeals to me. But I don't want to deal with having to travel back and forth to Lenox twice a day, and then dealing with the 39.96. Kind of have like embarrassing. I mean, I haven't filled out a 39.96 in over a year, and the time that I have usually is only because I don't want to listen to shit. But this was over a year ago when I was being given a shit. So I just placate. And then I'd end up getting it done with undertime anyway, and I'd be like, see, geez, I didn't need it anyway. I'm only trying to cover my ass. Didn't need it. So, yeah, I kind of feel self-conscious. It's like a mark on my pride. To fill out a 39.96. I've heard one person say they get embarrassed over taking vacation. Now, there's nothing to be embarrassed about taking a 39.96 out. There's definitely nothing to be embarrassed about taking a vacation day. I mean, Jesus. That's an extreme example. But it's prime time, and I should have known when I was bitching about the lack of overtime that happened. The work always comes back. And the whole idea of a freaking 4-day work week, I think that's a lobby from our competitors. Because if we have 4 days, that gives them a 3-day window, which then gives them the in. Because people are going to want package deliveries. And I guess maybe there'll be people working more than 4 days. It'll just be the offices are closed, and perhaps then it's like a Sunday. I don't know. Then what would be the use of having a 4-day work week if everything's running as normal and the doors are closed? You're still having people work 7 days a week. So, I mean, what would the difference be? Which, some are going to talk about their customers as the recipients, but actually the customers of the post office are the people who buy and send things, not the people receiving them. So, I don't know. Happy to be making the money. Finally got paid for the rural Sunday. Definitely worth doing. So I'm psyched. I made the quota. So I'm happy about that, obviously. So if I don't get the okay to work Monday, I'm not going to cry, because I'm feeling bad about not running all week. Running is important to me, and I need to keep running. I hate that feeling when I don't run for a while. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm losing it. Like, it's not like I'm not going to be able to run. You know what I mean? But yet, I haven't ran in like 5 days. It makes me feel weird. So I'm going to be running tomorrow. The heat's kind of subsided. I'm going to run early in the morning. Feels good to run. It's like my medicine, you know. Um, but I think my walking that I'm doing all the time helps kind of maintain that. Because it didn't take me long. It's not like I really had to work up that much. So walking all the time helped a lot. So, yeah. I bought a stupid fan that's just. I bought a tower fan that's good for 64 bucks. Works perfect. But I bought this stupid fan that's supposed to bring cool air from the floor up and then out. It's a piece of shit. You have to be a foot away from the thing to feel the breeze. It's not cooling off the room at all. And I'm embarrassed about how much money I spent on that damn thing. Stupid. Don't buy that gimmick shit. When they talk about fans, about how it's gonna freaking cool off a room, they're full of shit. That thing's a fucking lie. I mean, what the hell? I mean, if I'm right beside it. So, when I'm getting back on my bike on the Zwift, you know, that tower fan's going to be good. I'm going to have that tower fan. Whoosh. Then I won't be like dying from heat exhaustion in there. That's the reason why I haven't been on my Zwift in a while, is because it's just a little too hot in the room. You got to cool it off. It's not good to be baking in heat like that, you know. In the wintertime, not a problem. I have the window open, it's going to be nice and cool, and I can be biking hard. And I won't be running outside probably when it's icy. I don't really like that. I'll be falling on my ass, and I respect the runners who I see out there running in the ice. It's hats off to you. I don't want to be slipping and sliding around. My ice bugs are good though. But I don't know. I'll catch you guys later. I'm gonna run 14 miles tomorrow. I do nothing less than 10 kilometers. 6.2 miles is like my baseline. You know, on an easy, super easy day, it's 6.2. On a normal day, it's going to be 13.2. So, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you.